Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Purgatory brought to you by Force Strategy Gaming. Today we will be going over the fact that Diablo III is still on track for a 2011 release. We'll be going into some further clarification on item tiers within the game, and we will also be discussing Diablo III pre-orders. According to a recent news article from Inside Korea, Blizzard's Chief Operating Officer Paul Sams has stated that they are still on track for a 2011 release. And he amended that, however, by saying that if there is the slightest problem during the beta testing, that release may be delayed. So what this means to us is that if the beta goes smoothly and if there are no major issues during the beta, then we could still very well see the game released by Christmas of this year. However, if there are many major issues and big things need to be changed to the game before the release, then it may very well get pushed into early 2012. Either way, it is exciting news that they are still on track for a 2011 release. There's been a lot of discussion recently about item progression in Diablo 3 and kind of some confusion about the 18 tiers, and Bashiok did provide some clarification for this over the weekend, some further clarification from what we had already known. What he had said specifically is it's important for us to note that these 18 tiers are once more visual tiers, so we take these 18 tiers, we multiply them by 5 for each of the classes because each tier has a distinguished look for each class, multiply that again by 8 for the number of armor slots, and that brings us at 720 unique pieces of armor in Diablo 3, and this excludes weapons, this excludes any alterations to the armor to fit the genders, as well as dyes, and then also keep in mind that legendary items will have likely distinguished looks as well. So we are looking at a large array of items to kind of be looking forward to in the game, and something else that he did want to know, and I think it's really important to clarify as well, is that there's probably a lot of confusion when it comes to the diversity of item drops, as people are thinking that it's going to affect the level and the stats on the armor, but that is not the case. It is more the fact that these are the visual distinguishments in these 18 tiers between each set of gear, and between each tier there may be varying levels of rarity and as such levels of stats on the items. I've had a lot of questions about pre-orders for Diablo 3 that have been popping up at retailers across the world, and I just need to let everybody know that these pre-orders and any dates associated with them are pure speculation. Any pre-order dates of availability that you see is just kind of the retailer's educated guess, if you can even call it that. There is no set date for the release. Anything you see with the pre-order, once more, is just an estimation. So if you pre-order the game from any retailer that is offering it right now, realize you will very likely not get the game on the date that they are suggesting. So just keep that in mind. Once we do have an official release date, Blizzard will of course announce it, and everyone will know at that point. And if you do decide to do any pre-orders now, just be wary of that fact. So that about does it for this week's Purgatory. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you like the content, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned next week for the next Purgatory episode, keeping you up to date on everything going on in the Diablo 3 universe. And as always, guys, keep watching and keep